Coach Jack Daniels at the Boxers Trainers Channel. And today, man, today we have a kind of like a off subject. It's really not off subject because it's boxing, man. You know, everything that I discuss online in this pod is directly or indirectly associated with boxing. So it's about boxing, right? Well, contrary to the fact that sometimes, right, we differ. We go off into other areas of of life, right? Specifically when it pertains to politics, right? I love to go off into politics because I am a person that constantly keeps up with the politics, especially when it comes to the United States, right? And all the different variances that's associated with government in the United States. I keep myself well abreast of the things that goes on in this country, especially when it comes to politics. But now we are not talking about politics. So today, first of all, shout out to the ship was here. Salute to you, brother. So, back to some boxing. Like, look, check this out, man. You know, like I'm the type that spends a lot of time, like investigating things before I open my mouth and start speaking on it, right? And it has been like maybe I want to say 6 or 7 months. Nah, June, July, August, 3 months, right? 3 months. When Keyshawn Davis was supposed to entertain Edward De Los Santos at the lightweight division for Keyshawn Davis's WBO lightweight championship title of the world. Right now, that fight didn't happen. It didn't come to fruition because Keyshawn Davis, the day of the fight, excuse me, prior to the day of the fight, weigh in, right? No, excuse me, I take that back. The day of the fight at weigh in, Keyshawn Davis missed weight. He missed weight. Now, first of all, let me say this. As far as respecting boxing is concerned, right? A championship caliber boxer, and I say this wholeheartedly, does not miss weight. When you get to the point where you have become a championship caliber boxer or fighter, there is a distinction between the two, and I've noted that on several occasions, right? When you get to that plateau in your life, in your career, right, where you become the world champion in one of the four sanctioning bodies, as far as one of the sanctioning bodies are concerned, right, you don't miss weight. It's something that a champion doesn't even relish because he is going to put in the work necessary to make weight. That's what great champions do. And if a person gets to the point where he acquires a championship title, right, he has put in the necessary work to wear that belt. Now, but here's the deal. Keyshawn Davis at 135 put in that necessary work to acquire the WBO lightweight championship of the world, right? He put in the work. He beat everybody in that division, especially in the WBO sanctioning systems. He beat everybody in that sanctioning body surrounding, right, to become the WBO lightweight champion of the world. My point in this is that he put in the work to become a champion, right? So my thing would be is, how could you or why would you miss weight at one of the biggest fights in your career? Now, let me say this, in all fairness to Keyshawn Davis. Edward De Los Santos is known as being a wrecking ball with his hands, right? I mean, he's a hitter. And everybody in that division knows about Edward De Los Santos and his ability to take your head off and he hits you. You know what I mean? So let's be perfectly clear about my feelings in regards to Keyshawn Davis is his motivating factor and the motivating factor for him to miss work. Now, at first, he said that he could no longer make weight at the 135-pound division. The night before, he did everything in his power to make weight, and he just couldn't make weight. Right? He was doing everything possible to the point where he started getting sick or ill, if memory serves me correctly. Right? So now that's a outstanding thing to do if it is that what you did. Right? Now, I say if it's that what you did because there is audio, and I want to share that with you, that Keyshawn Davis turned around and said that he could make weight at 135 pounds again if necessary. Now, what he meant by that was if the fight was big enough, right, he would go back, put in the necessary discipline, and be able to make weight on the night of the bout, right? He would be able to get his body, tell his body to look, get ready, because we're going back to 135, right? And made it perfectly clear in this audio that he could go back to 135. Let me get to that video before I open my mouth and say another word, because that what Keyshawn Davis said is very important, right? So here you go.
But I really can still make 135. Davis and Davis, though. I know it takes two tangos. You know they make. You're not bringing him up. That's fair. I don't want to make 135 no more, but I really can still make 135. Davis and Davis, though. I know it takes two tangos. You know they make. You're not bringing him up. That's fair.
Okay.
I don't want to make 135.
That was Mr. Keyshawn Davis talking to the media. Now, the thing that really pulls me, why in the hell would you do that? Why in the hell would you say, in the first instance that, man, my body wouldn't do it. I can't do it. You know what I mean? My body just wouldn't do it. I can't do it. I can't make 135 no more. I knew that other night of the fight. Quote unquote, Keyshawn Davis, right? But you just heard Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis just said that he could make 135. He know he can make 135 if he needs to make 135. You know what I mean? Now that was the reason that came up, because they was talking about Tank Davis fight in that interview, right? It was asking him about if Tank Davis accepts the fight, something of that nature. Would he go back to 135? And you heard him. You heard him say that he can make 135. Now here's the thing. Now that's why boxing continues to move backwards instead of forwards, right? Because we have boxers and people that think like-minded, like Keyshawn Davis. You know what I mean? This is what this podcast today is about, right? It is about the integrity of the boxing game, right? I mean, stuff like this shouldn't be prohibited. We shouldn't stand for it. The fans shouldn't stand for it. The sanctioning body shouldn't stand for it. The governing body shouldn't stand for it. The state commissions shouldn't stand for it, right? But we somehow seem to relish in hearing a bunch of foolishness to separate ourselves, right, from that which is right, to be able to grasp that which is wrong. That's what we do. You know, that's what we do as human beings. That's what we do as fans. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, I'm trying to make the point is, I mean, does it mean being a boxing fan that we have to disregard our moral apparatus, our principles? I'm talking about as fans, as human beings, as boxers. Is that what this is all about? Is that what that means to us? You know what I mean? It's okay to say, I can't make 135, but when an opportunity arises where there is big money involved, that you can switch up and say, no, I can make 135. That's why this world is so damn crummy, right? Because we, selectively speaking, as human beings, have a problem with maintaining our recall. Right? We can maintain recall when we need to, but when it comes to an issue that we like, that we enjoy, right? Our recall just goes out the window, man. We just, you know what I'm saying? We don't, I mean, we only sustain it for about 3 seconds, and after that 3 seconds is gone, somebody comes back and says something that pleasable to the mind, right? We forget about what he said the first time. You know what I mean? That's the way we think. We got to get away from that, man. As human beings, we got to get away from that and get back to the principle of being honorable people. That's what the world was built on, was honor, not deception. This is deception. Keyshawn Davis is a part of some deception. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, again, it is perfectly okay if that's what y'all like. It is perfectly okay if that's what y'all want, right? But me, Jack Daniels, the boxers training champ, man, I ain't trying to hear that garbage, man. You know what I mean? I built myself up to believe in that which is right. This garbage, that junk that Keyshawn Davis is spewing on the world, right? The deception notion that he can make the deception notion that he can't make 135, his body won't let him go that far down anymore, and then come back and say, I can still make 135. Now, that is not acceptable, people. Now, if you like it, you know what I'm saying? And if you like it, the normal phrase, if you like it, I love it. No, man, not on this one. You know what I mean? Dude, Keyshawn Davis, right, needs to be disciplined for that type of behavior. And hopefully, if that comes to fruition, right, people start the sanctioning bodies, the boxing commissions in the various states has to start taking a position on the integrity of boxing. Y'all don't think so? I mean, this is okay. Obviously, it is. Ain't nobody said a damn thing. Ain't nobody said a damn thing about Keyshawn Davis's behavior. And it is not only this instance that makes Keyshawn Davis susceptible to some type of discipline, right? But the night of the fight, he was already disqualified for missing weight, right? He had two other brothers that are fighters, right? Keon. This was Keon that lost that particular night, and this dummy Keyshawn Davis decided that he was going to avenge his brother's loss by going to the winning boxer's room and create a fracas. In boxing, I mean, has that ever happened before? What Keyshawn Davis did that ever happen before? I've not in my 75 years on this planet heard of an instance where a boxer retaliated on another boxer because his brother got whooped. This would happen on this one, pal. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm just trying to clear the air when it comes to the integrity of boxing. I'm trying to make boxing a better place, not only for me, but for the world. That's what Jack Daniels at The Boxers Trainers Channel is about, right? And you're going to hear me start talking about other things when it comes to investigatory matters, right? Because, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what man, look, man, I told y'all, I was gifted with a blessing to think and think beyond the norm when it comes to things that I deal with, things that I love. You know what I mean? So you're gonna hear me start speaking on investigated. I investigated. You know what I mean? Because when you love boxing again, like I love boxing, man, you want boxing to be in a great state, a great place. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the devil, the 956 devil. Wow. What? Wait a minute. the 956 devil. And then it says, Jesus loves you. All he died for your sins and rose from the dead 3 days later. Follow him. Okay, now man, that's a good a parable. I can appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I can appreciate that, people. But the devil, the 956 devil, what? I wish you could have like helped me out with that, so I wouldn't take that the wrong way, people. You know what I mean? The 956 devil. Could you break that down for me before I get up out of here? Well, anyway, look, man. I know y'all kind of lazy with your hands, with your fingers, right? And when it comes to pushing, when it comes to pushing buttons, you know what I'm saying? But I would appreciate it, man, if you would push that subscription button. Hit that like button, man. You know what I'm saying? It don't do nothing but help me to better my situation when it comes to this challenge is concerned. And I'm getting there slowly but surely. I'm creeping up to them numbers where you're gonna start having better content because I'm gonna be able to get my butt on the road and get into some of these areas of boxing that we need to be in. There's a lot of cats getting a lot of bread from the content, man. A lot of cats getting, I mean, making a nice living off their podcast, off their boxing podcast. I mean, it's not only boxing podcasts. It's just a litany of different podcasts and types of content that people are starting to um, get online with, right? That's creating a nice return for them, right? So this is what I'm saying, people. You know what I mean? I need to get my watch time hours up. No, actually, well, in this case, down, right? I think I got like 266 from being able to do what I need to do. You know what I mean? 266 from doing what I need to do, and that's get, you know what I'm saying? Get some returns for my services, not from the people, but from YouTube. That's what this is about when it comes to making your platform great, right? You got to get monetized in order to be able to get on the plane, because I already have my credentials to be able to get into fights, right? But it's a lot of fights that we need to review. It's a lot of fights, and there's a lot of good fights out there. But we got to have some paper to get to them fights. That being said, man, I already told you about your hands. You know what I'm saying? Hit them buttons and drop a comment in the comment section, and speak to whether it's okay for a boxer to tell y'all a lie and then come back and cover it up. Can you speak to that? Okay, man, I got to go to work. Talk to you later and love you. Bye.